Happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcome to another episode of Atlas All Access. If you can't tell, I've got something going on here, and I talked about this on the VIP video last week. If you didn't see that, but this week we're going to talk about what do you do on contract when you get sick, and why doesn't Atlas offer PTO?
Great questions.
Atlas All Access starts now. All right. So Hannah Bryant, welcome back.
Buddy. Thanks.
We had a fun time with Compact State, so I figured I'd invite you back for this one.
Okay.
And
love talking about benefits.
So we just talked about this a little bit, and we probably should have an HR person here for this, but we'll handle this on our own.
Wing it.
So I came down with something, head cold something, and you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. So it brought up what happens when you get sick when you're on a contract. And what do you do? How can we support you? That type of thing. So I got a couple questions here. Let's start first off with, you're a nurse on a contract and you get sick. What do you do?
Do not take it to work with you. I think your coworkers and patients would appreciate that. So there are 5 states, and I should have actually printed this off. There are 5 states where we're mandated by the state to offer a sick bank. I think the most important thing when you're talking about things like this, it's all coming from the same place, guys. The hospital is sending us a check for your bill rate. We are dividing that out to you. So even with the sick pay bank, it is coming. I mean, a portion of it is coming out of your bill rate.
Sure.
Same with if we were to offer PTO or sick pay that's not state mandated. Mm-hmm. It's all coming from the same place. I have this conversation with nurses pretty frequently. I just had it yesterday with Kelly. Hey, Kelly. And as long as you can understand, it's just the way we're divvying out the money. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of nurses out there who aren't going to use their sick pay.
Right.
So it's not fair to take that money from them off the top, knowing that they're never going to use it.
Right.
In my opinion, it's better to set a little bit aside, knowing that you might need it for those type of days.
Because theoretically, you're never going to get that money back, right? If you don't take a sick day and you leave, you're not getting that money back.
Right.
Right. We're not going to. You don't just pay it out at the end of the.
And we can't offer it for some, but not all. So
right.
If we took a vote and it was unanimous and everybody wanted part of their paycheck to go into a PTO account, sure, but I know a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I know nurses who I've worked with them for 5-6 years, never called in sick once.
Right.
So that would be a disadvantage to them. That's a lot of money over 5, 6, 7 years.
They would be losing a lot of money. Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
You're better off just trying to put a little bit away for a rainy, cold day where you're sick and in bed.
Well, and that's kind of, it's always been our strategy here was pay you as much as we can up front.
Yep.
Pay the nurse as much as we can.
It's your choice what you do with your money. We're not going to decide that for you.
Right.
With the tuition reimbursement, PTO, sick time, no.
All entirely up to you. Yep. But there are some things from a benefit standpoint that could benefit you if you do get sick.
Absolutely. So, I was just talking to Becca about this yesterday. Her nurse has an emergency appendectomy. Oh no, what can we do? We don't offer sick pay. We don't offer PTO. We do have 2 supplemental plans to help you out here. And they're really, it's a matter of $2 a week. So it's cheaper than your coffee weekly. And we have one for if you are actually admitted into the hospital. That's going to pay you out $300 a day for up to 30 days. And you're paying $325 a week if you have your whole family on it, which means if your family member's in the hospital, you're looking at $10 a week. So it's really still, any way you look at it, it's a small amount.
So $3.25 if
week.
It's just the nurse, right? And this is the turn-in plan, is that correct?
Yes. And they're both, you can do it when you sign a contract, if it's your first contract, or during open enrollment. Mm-hmm. They're both by Tarian. So that one, you have to be in the hospital for at least 24 hours. But after that, it's $300 a day for up to 30 days, no deductible. The other plan is an Accident Plus plan. There is a $250 deductible, but you are paid up to $5,000 and 80% of the charges you accrue for being out of work for being out of work as a result of an accident. A car accident, you've slipped on the ice and broke your wrist and now you can't work. This would be a perfect plan for you. And $250 when you're looking at a maximum benefit of $5,000 is
right.
small. That's $295 a week.
Let's go back and break that. Let's break each one of these down, because I think that's important that we talk about. You know, a lot of people know what Aflac is, right?
Yep,
or
absolutely.
you've seen the commercials, but you may not fully understand what it is. Turnitin is very much like Aflac, where it pays you when you get sick.
Yep.
So I have it on mine. You're right. It's like $3 a check.
You don't miss it. It's not a substantial amount.
Right. And it's one of those things you sign up for it and you forget about it. Until you get sick. Yeah, until something happens, until you fall and break your wrist, until you break an ankle, until God forbid, you're lifting a patient and you strain your back, or you tear an ACL or something like that. Yep. It has a very detailed list of things that it pays out.
Or even filtering down to your kids. You know, sometimes our kids end up in the hospital. You buy up to the family plan, and then you don't feel stretched so thin while you're sitting there in the hospital with your child, because you can't leave them there. Nurses are not babysitters. I think we all know that. Then it helps take some of that stress off of you financially, knowing that you're missing work, you're not getting a paycheck, and you're going to have all these hospital bills on top of it.
Right.
So if you have kids, I would definitely recommend. There's even an employee independent plan as well. So just if you have kids or you want your whole family.
And that's one that we instituted probably, was it 3 years ago? I would think probably it's been around for a couple of years now, and I have heard stories of nurses that have signed up for this that have used the benefit. Yes. And it really has helped out. I always encourage
it. Anything over a day, look into your plans, and it's just all you have to do is call them. You're not like, you do have to submit paperwork, but all you have to do first step is pick up the phone and get on the phone. They'll walk you through it. They're just going to want, your hospital paperwork and
break down the second one now.
Yeah, so that is if you are in an accident, obviously outside of work, because then workers' comp comes into play if you're at work. But it pays you on the actual expenses you accrue from that accident. So whether it's damage to your vehicle, which you have car insurance for that, but damage to medical bills, whatever it may be, it's going to pay up to 80% of those charges with a max benefit of $5,000 a year. So it's going to cover a lot of those financial hardships that you would experience from that accident.
And
and then on top of that, if you get in the car accident and you end up in the hospital, you have both of them.
Correct.
So you're making up for your lost income, and you're getting help paying off those expenses, whether it's your car or I don't know what else.
So let's say first time nurse, first time with Atlas, you can sign up for this, right? So it's
absolutely.
Either first time or at open enrollment. This isn't something they could just sign up for right now, right?
Correct.
You have to, or you come off a contract, you take a contract with somebody else, and you come back to us.
Anytime you have the option to enroll in our benefits.
Yep. You can enroll for this.
Yep.
So talk to your recruiter about that. It's a benefit that we offer.
And it's nothing, you're not dealing with an insurance company, you're not submitting your claims and they're paying them directly. All this money is paid out directly to you. So you have the choice in divvying it out where you think you need to prioritize.
Absolutely.
You can do it for your whole family once again, dependents, yourself. And it doesn't matter if you have medical coverage with us, it doesn't matter if you have a healthcare savings account, PPO, an independent plan. It doesn't have anything to do with your medical coverage. It's completely separate.
All independent of everything else.
Yep. Right. So if my benefits are covering a majority of my hospitalization or whatever separate from that, then I can use this to supplement.
Good. Okay, so let's talk about what do you do? What do you do on that? So this doesn't apply. You don't have any sick time. What do you do then? Like, how do you make up those hours? How do you approach your nurse manager or the charge nurse?
Just ask them. Step one, call your scheduler, see if there's any holes in the schedule that you can fill, for your own paycheck to help out, show that you're a team player as well. Step two, if it is extended, let's say, I don't know, the flu, it has you down for a week plus. It's never a bad idea to be apologetic to your manager. Obviously, we all get sick, but maybe then offer to add that week on to the end of your contract, same as you would do when you're requesting a longer time off. I think that just really shows that you're a team player, you're dedicated. It's going to help you make up for your missed money. Same with the overtime.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, is just ask. A lot of, and after doing this for as long as I have, I think one of the things is if you don't ask, you're never going to get it.
Right.
They're not going to offer.
Right.
Right.
And there might be other nurses who want, time off. They can't find coverage.
Yep.
Perfect opportunity to be a team player. Make up those hours. Get your money back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
You pick up that extra shift on a Saturday or whatever, and then all of a sudden you haven't missed that time.
Right.
You were still sick, but you made up that time.
And you're not getting the stipends and per diems back, but you're getting that overtime rate. So it's a good way to bridge that gap.
Yep. And so outside of all of that, guaranteed hours apply to, or whatever when you're called off.
But not when
you're sick.
It has to be involuntary, which being sick is, I don't think anybody voluntarily wants to be sick,
right.
But it does not count.
I would voluntarily give this to anyone right now if I didn't have to have it. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, though.
Right.
That's not how it works. So I'm just going to continue on with the with
some
all that.
Vaseline on your nose.
I know, right? Is it all red?
I told my kids last night. It is pretty red.
It feels pretty. Pretty red. It's pretty awesome. But this is the first time I've been sick all winter. So and I've done a really good job.
Now you jinxed it.
No, I knocked on wood.
Next.
This table is made of wood. So my hands are reptile, man. They are. I wash my hands. I learned after 3 kids, you wash your hands all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
And that's the best way to not get sick.
Yeah. Have you ever taken any nurse testing? That's like 5 questions
Wash your
on
hands.
that test. How do you prevent disease and infection? Number 1 way.
Wash your hands.
Hand washing.
Yes. And sing the happy birthday song twice as you're washing your hands.
Oh.
That's what you do.
We always used to have a little Oscar the Grouch thing that would go down, and he would come back up when we could be done washing our hands or brushing our teeth.
Oh, really?
Weird. Yeah, it was actually kind of creepy.
Man, the 80s were
Childhood
awesome.
traumas.
That was awesome. All right. Well, Hannah, thank you so much. Hopefully I haven't given you my illness by...
I already had it.
Okay, there we go.
And I passed it on to my children.
So there we go.
Everybody here has it. Things spread like wildfire in here.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. So, all right, I'm going to go wash my hands and use some Germ-X. So, if you have any questions,
healthy.
you can always
San
ask.
Diego.
We are always here, available to help. Just email us. I'm sure you'll put my email address right in here somewhere, or DM us on Facebook, one of the two.
Yeah.
So, all right.
If you want more information on these supplement plans, just ask your recruiter. We have a nice little PDF for you.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you next week.